Howdy folks, Big Ankovich here, podcaster, author, and carnivore, and it is day 10 of the July Carnivore Challenge here on the hardcore summer. Okay, let's head over and check out those daily videos and see how things are going here on Big Ankovich on Health. Alright, so how is it going on day 10 while I'm trying to keep up my hardcore summer? So yeah, yesterday I did 15,000 steps, which is a little low for me, but I was not working yesterday. I was home from work so I could go to the concert. So I did what I normally do on a weekend. And this morning I did some more of that kind of stuff. I got up this morning and I went out for a walk. I was walking around, getting in my steps, and I'm already past 10,000. I should easily make much more than that. I'll probably get somewhere in the 20s. So that'll be good. That'll be hardcore. So after that, I finished out my fast at 42 hours. And I finished that out with a bowl of ground beef. That's right. That's what I have. The cheapest way to get meat, you know. So I do it frequently. I do it a lot. Later in the day, after hanging out for a while, I had my second meal, which was the last of the strip steak that I have from the grocery store. They had it on super sale, $4.99 a pound, so I jumped on that and got a bunch of it, and I just finished it off. So that is it for that, but that's okay. I got more ground beef, and I got a roast too, so I'll still be all right. But yeah, that was my food for today. That was my hardcore for today. Marshall had a less than hardcore day yesterday. He assured me he was going to be better today, though. Let's see if he was. Marshall?
All right, everybody. I'm here for day number 10 of July, reporting on that. And I did pretty well. You know, I had the slip up the day before, and I was wondering how it was going to go. If I was going to be more tempted, have more cravings. I did not feel good as I expected. I was very sluggish in the morning. I did not want to get up and get going. I had a headache. I did sleep okay, I think, but having a headache implies something was wrong there. But yeah, just all the sugar and the caffeine from the soda and everything just jacked my system. So yeah, it wasn't a good morning, but I didn't let that bother me. I went for a walk in the cool morning hours, clear my head a little bit, and then I was just back on. So that's a good thing, but I'm not going back. You know, I think mentally and psychologically, I really felt down for slipping up and having the soda. And while I felt bad about slip-ups in the last few months, this one just, I was really down on myself because I really wanted July to be a pristine, perfect month for my eating and everything. So I really let myself down there, and I felt it, and I think that's a good sign that they will not happen again. So that said, what did I eat? I had some bunch of ground beef in the morning. I think it was more than a pound, but I didn't weigh it. I need to get back on that just so I don't lose track of not necessarily exactly how many calories I'm eating, but the magnitude, you know, where am I at? But I think I did pretty well. I did have some meatballs later on, and I also had my steak and eggs, scrambled eggs. I had brought pre-scrambled, well, not cooked, but pre-scrambled eggs, and I just cooked that up in a frying pan at work and I put in those steak bits in there, and yeah, that always fills me up quite a bit. So I did have that at work. Something was on the burner, so of course it smelled like I burned something, but I didn't. It wasn't my food, it was something on the burner. That's one of the dangers of cooking at work, is if things go wrong, everybody knows about it. But let's see. Did I eat anything else? I already talked about the meatballs and ground beef. I didn't eat, other than a couple pieces of jerky, some chomps. I had those at home, but I didn't cook anything up or have anything. I think my wife was having some hamburgers, but I was good, man, after all the stuff I had at work. So yeah, I think that's good. I believe I was well within my calorie range, even though I didn't measure anything. I feel pretty good about what I ate yesterday. So there's that. And yeah, we'll just have to keep on riding that crest, never go back in the pit again. All right, bye.
All right, Marshall, way to go. Good work. That is hardcore. Yeah, you know, it's interesting, that whole thing. I hope what you say is true. I hope that you've made it over the hump, you know, that you're not going to go back, that you've had your slip up and you're not going to do it again. It's a hard thing to do, you know. It's interesting because when I first started carnivore, I just thought, oh, it's a magic diet. You eat it and you just feel great and you don't want anything else and you'll never have a problem. All it takes is just tell people eat meat and that's all they're gonna need, and they're gonna solve all their problems with it, which unfortunately is not completely true. It is pretty magic diet, I do have to admit that. And when you eat it, you do, you know, get rid of all of those cravings, but you have to stick with it. And unfortunately, the human mind is a very complex thing. And so there's a lot of stuff going on in there that can derail you. You know, you can think that you're 100% good and then your mind remembers something, some kind of you know, deja vu hits you or something, and all of a sudden you're back desperately trying to not you know, give up and eat a bunch of chocolate or something like that. You know, I've been doing this for a really long time. If you look back at the oldest videos on this channel, the first one that I put on there was, I think, it was May 2019 when I did that video. And that was me starting in carnivore for the very first time, and I started in and it was great. And I lost so much weight and I lost it quickly and I was feeling wonderful, and I got all the way down to about where I am now. And then my dad died, and shortly thereafter COVID hit and I lost it. And I gained all of that weight back. And I struggled again and again and again and again to get back on it. I knew it was the way to go, but I needed to get beyond those weird, you know, things going on in my brain that wanted me to, you know, hey, remember that stuff that we used to eat? Let's eat that again. You know, cheesecake, you like that, right? Let's try it. All of those things can be really tough, and it takes a lot of stops and starts sometimes to get there. You know, I'm doing good right now, and I feel like I've finally made it there. I feel like I'm to the point where I'm not gonna fall off the wagon again. And I've been going now for 2 years without any carbs, and that's good. But I still sometimes even have issues within carnivore. You know, I'll tell myself I'm doing lion diet and then I eat cheese, and that's not lion diet, and cheese is generally not good for losing weight either. I find myself gaining weight. I've lost weight all the way down to almost 200 pounds and then gained it back up to 250 eating cheese and drinking a whole bunch of heavy cream. So, you know, you can develop, I guess, new goofy things in your brain that can still mess you up. So, you know, it's a process that's probably an ongoing one for life. I'll have to be fighting those kind of things for my whole life because, you know, I mean, I don't know, maybe some people don't have that problem, but I think pretty much all of us who come to carnivore, for the most part, we're addicts. We're food addicts, we're carb addicts, sugar addicts. we are not going to have an easy time of fixing that. It's going to take a lot of effort, and it's going to be an ongoing process. So don't get down on yourself if you slipped up. Just get back to it. It is definitely the best diet that you can eat. It is the proper human diet, and you should eat it. And it will do you good. It will make you feel great, and it will do you well. And if you slip up and you eat something you shouldn't, well, you know, shrug it off, turn around, and make the next day better. Just like Marshall did. That's the way to go. All right, folks, we'll see you next time on Big Yankovic on Health.